If you've ever acquired a brand new amplifier and just thought, doesn't sound aggressive enough, then you need one of these, an overdrive pedal. Where a distortion pedal would fabricate the gain structure of an amp, an overdrive slams the front end and colours the gain, causing the signal to break up in interesting and nasty ways. Many people believe that the Boss OD1 was the first overdrive pedal, but there's plenty of theories on the internet saying otherwise, giving the accolade to companies such as EHX, Ibanez, MXR, Maxon, Danelectro and D-Armand. From Willie Kizart using a damaged speaker cone in 1951 to create a broken up gain tone in the song Rocket 88, to Dave Davis cutting his speaker cone with a razor blade to record You Really Got Me with the Kinks. There's always been a long-time fascination with the artificial saturation of guitar tones. In the early 70s, Ibanez created the Tube Screamer, possibly the most popular metal overdrive to date, which would soon be cloned by Maxon in the form of the OD808, and has competed with its predecessor ever since. But how has the overdrive modernised since then? In 2004, Dennis Molan launched ProTone, a company manifested from a lifelong fascination of rock music and electronics. Having studied audio engineering at the University of Mexico, he'd find himself working at Thunderbird Studios, repairing and modding audio equipment, when he created a single transistor boost for himself, the thruster boost. When his friends heard this boost in action, they encouraged him to sell it on the internet. After 1 week of listing on eBay, he was stocking 3 stores with his pedals. One of the biggest draws for this pedal was the racing stripe aesthetic, something that hadn't really been done before. Following that, he hired a graphic designer to create a logo. The designer went all lone wolf and decided to create this monster aesthetic with tone knobs as his eyeballs, creating the monster fuzz, and solidifying ProTone's unique selling point, their visually striking pedals, leading to the birth of this, the ProTone Dead Horse. A ballsy, no-nonsense noise machine. A box that reps twice, checks itself in the mirror, and then goes and grabs the Tube Screamer's wife's bottom. Cranking the volume and tone controls of this pedal into a high-gain tube amp will unleash an aggressive, present, and unmistakably modern tone. Tightening up the low end and smoothing out the high-gain breakup, which caught the attention of pioneers in modern metal, including Misha Mansour, who would actually go to work with Molan and create the Bulbo D. He wouldn't stick around too long though, because his ambitions were aimed higher than a mere signature pedal. The Periphery Stringsmith would team up with Wired guitarists Maytab Bogle and Brian Gilmanov to create something completely unique. The Precision Drive. Over 400 hours of R&D building the original circuit, more than 6 revisions of the noise gate alone, input from 4,600 guitarists and a collaboration with MXR would give birth to this truly modern device. This was Misha's solution to noisy and cheap circuits, rehashing the same old overdrives time and time again that were never really meant to boost high gain amps. The most obvious innovation with this pedal is the built-in noise gate, a must-have tool for anyone driving a high-gain amp with this much volume. The attack control will allow you smooth hiss removal and an incredibly quick, aggressive clamp for tight rhythms. You quickly notice the amount of headroom on the volume control of this thing, twinned with an incredibly smooth drive knob and no, and I've tested it, no dead spots. Same story for the brightness control. So much headroom, more than you'll ever realistically need. To compare these drives, I'm going to be testing them single-tracked, double-tracked, and then in a mix. They'll have the same settings, run into my Mark V and the 2 Notes Torpedo Live. The ProTone was the first overdrive I ever bought. Before then I was using a Messer throttle box into a Blackstar HT5, so when I finally got my hands on a PV6505 with a decent gain channel, I had to make the change. I felt I'd finally found that sound, a heavy, colourful, dynamic tone. This little jump button has been my go-to rhythm sound for around about 3 years now. So when Misha announced the Precision Drive, my ears pricked up. When it finally arrived, it felt familiar, almost like a software update. The low end is a bit cleaner, the dynamics are a little punchier, the gate is a welcome feature, but the Precision Drive hasn't completely flogged the dead horse. I think it's a different flavour, and definitely one I'll keep in my arsenal, with as much paint left on it as possible. These drives are peas in a pod. Where ProTone took the traditional overdrive and pushed it up to 11, the Precision Drive refined it and pushed it to 12 for good measure. They both have a solid place in modern metal as pioneers in high gain control. If you're looking for value, there's no doubt the Precision Drive offers just that. I have to twin the dead horse with a noise gate to keep it in check, so you can save in having both of them in one, but ultimately it's all about flavour, and there's plenty in these aggressive little boxes. Hey, thank you for watching this video all the way through. I hope it was informative and I hope you enjoyed it. Which drive would you go for? Have you owned both? What do you think? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments section. I'm working on some fun stuff at the moment. We're going to have a little bit of a change of pace for a couple of videos. It's great to have a load of new people here. Welcome aboard. We're going to have some fun. So I'll see you then. Laters. I've tightened this so many times in its lifetime. I've actually, look, gone forever. I'm never seeing that screw again. These things, I love them to pieces, but I have to say, they fall apart. It breaks me. It breaks my heart. Dennis, make these be more future-proof, please. Thanks.